now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, first off, guys, update on the weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend, you guys and gals. I hope your pets had good weekends. Hope your friends and family had good weekends. I hope everyone did, because I sure as hell did. I saw the new Demon Slayer movie with my son. He's a big anime head. It was awesome. We had a great time watching it. But we went on Saturday or Friday night, and I didn't know what 4D was. And they said, oh, they like spray some air in your face and the seats vibrate. That's all I knew. I was like, all right, whatever. So we go in. These seats, and they don't tell you when you go in if you're older. Like, I'm 49 years old, you guys. So I have injuries that I didn't deal with in my 20s, and now I'm paying for it. And, you know, it sucks getting older. Things hurt. So I'm sitting in this seat. My son's sitting in this seat. This big Asian dude comes and sits next to me with some nachos. I'm like, oh, my man's got some nachos. He's happy. I got some popcorn. I'm happy. My son's got some fruit punch in his cup holder. He's got some popcorn. Where everybody's happy, man. Oh, and we got some pretzel bites. Come on. You know those are tasty. The movie starts and the trailers start, and we get a trailer for The Running Man starring Glenn Powell. And it's an awesome trailer, right? No, it's horrible. It's not horrible, but here's why it was. The seats are on hydraulics. They don't vibrate. It was like being on a freaking roller coaster. My man to my right, his nachos launched. They were. He didn't know either. He was surprised. His nachos, kabloom! Some of them land on my blue jeans. I was pissed. I like those jeans. Blam! I got nacho cheese on my lap. He's got nacho cheese everywhere. He's looking at me like, sorry, man. I'm like, I understand. My son's fruit punch is splishing and splashing everywhere. I look to my left. My son, who's 12 years old, he's way smaller than me, is literally bouncing around like a lunatic in this seat. Like, it's launching him almost. He's literally just like, whoa, oh my God. And meanwhile, Glenn Powell's dodging grenades and throwing grenades at guys, and they're throwing grenades back, and he's laughing, I lived again, you son of a bitch. So that trailer ends, and I'm like, yo, what the hell just happened? And my son's kind of laughing. He's like, Dad, that was crazy. I was like, yeah. Got him my right. It's like, I'm so sorry, man. I said, it's all right, dude. I have napkins. Because I'm a responsible dad. I brought napkins. I'm wiping myself off. I hand my man to my right some napkins. He's cleaning himself off to no avail. He had all the cheese was on him. And he had a cool hoodie, too. So then the next trailer starts, and it's freaking Tron. The movie hasn't started yet, and it throws my back out, okay? Now the trailers are over. I'm looking at my son. He's looking at me. And I know he knows what I'm thinking. I know what he's thinking. You guys know what I'm thinking. How long am I going to get through this? 7 minutes, y'all. 7 minutes into the movie, I have to tap out. Because the movie opens on this like dramatic moment and then right to a fight scene in this demon world where you're falling through this eternally growing castle and they're searching for this demon. I don't even know they're searching for the demon yet because I didn't get that far. And my son grabs me and he goes, Dad, do you want to go? And I looked at my son. I said, so bad, but I'll stay if you want. He goes, no, Dad, I'm getting launched. And so we tapped out 7 minutes in, bought tickets for the next day, went the next day, watched the whole movie in nice reclining seats, the way old people like them. We had popcorn. We had more pretzel bites. Yeah, I had them 2 days in a row, whatever. Or actually a day apart because we went yesterday. And we loved the movie. It was excellent. They're not paying me to say any of this. It was a really fun movie. The animation is better than anything I've ever been a part of. The voice acting, we listened to the Japanese dub with subtitles. It was awesome. The music was great. The fight scenes were 40-minute long fight scenes. Like, it was everything that I like in a movie. I used to fast forward to the Jackie Chan fight scenes in his movies and then watch the whole movie afterwards. I just wanted to see how much ass he could kick. That's why I like wrestling, by the way. So that was my weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Now, it's time to make y'all some money. Let's go. Alex probably put a sick music cue in there while I was drinking water. Or he said, fuck it, Freddie. All right, here we go. Segment 1. This is the most important segment, you guys. This is how you're going to watch this freaking thing. Because if you're older like me, or anywhere in your 40s, It's getting hard to find wrestling because you're not used to all the apps to watch everything. We used to have something called television, and there was just two ways to watch it, cable or satellite. But either way, to order a pay-per-view was exactly the freaking same. Now it's completely different. These corporations they're not ruining, they haven't ruined it, but they are ruining parts of this business. And we'll get more into that later if you guys want to on the Thursday show. Here's how you watch it. It's in Toronto. It's called All Out, you guys. All in, all out. Next one's called Everything in Between. It's Saturday, September 20th from Scotiabank Arena. I've been there in Toronto, Canada. That was where John Cena and Trish Stratus did a mixed tag against whoever the bad guys were. I don't remember who the bad guys were, but they were bad. The main card starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and the pre-show is at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. What? Freddie, this sounds a little bit early for a pay-per-view. Well, not in the old days. That's what time the WWE, back then WWF, used to do it at. But the interesting thing is why, and we'll get to that in 1 second. In the U.S., HBO Max is carrying the AEW pay-per-view for the very first time, and All Out is listed at a very reasonable $39.99. AEW moved All Out to the afternoon because WWE did some counter-programming and tried to steal their audience because their pay-per-views do well, and WWE's trying to damage that business the way corporations try to damage corporations because, God forbid, two people get to do something and make money on it. No, the money will be mine. Power, greed, yes. Like Gordon Gekko said, greed is good. So that's kind of what that move is. And so Tony Khan was forced to move it. And Tony Khan's more like, yo, can't we all just get along, man? Like, why can't we both just have wrestling shows? So he moved his. It's in the afternoon now. So if you love AEW, be aware of the time change. I'm not into the two wrestling companies going at each other. I like watching both. Even if you're a tribalist, you don't want someone trying to damage your company, your side of the fight. So you don't want them competing on the same night either. So, look, we said this on this show months ago. As soon as TKO bottomed, like, it was all the prices were going to go up and it was going to become warfare because only one can exist. Yes, monopolies are great. No, they're not, man. Monopolies suck. That's bullshit, man. So yeah, this is going to be what it is, and it's going to keep getting worse. And on the Thursday show, we'll get into it more on how it affects certain parts of the business in a negative way. And it benefits it too. It can potentially bring more jobs to wrestlers, the more shows they have and things like that. Anyway, we'll get into that later. So now you know how to watch the pay-per-view. So let's discuss. Not my favorite match of the night, but by far the most important match of the night. Adam Hangman Page, the champ, versus Kyle Fletcher, the TNT champ. Kyle Fletcher, talking on the microphone with some confidence, talking on the microphone with a sweet Australian accent, talking on the microphone with attitude, talking to the crowd, talking to Hangman seamlessly, getting everyone involved in a Philadelphia crowd seamlessly, adapting and adjusting to what they say without any issues whatsoever. Kyle Fletcher, killing it on the mic. Don Callis not even having to talk for him. He leaves him in the back, not the back, but in the entryway. And Don Callis is like, yeah, dude, go. Do your thing, man. Get your title shot. And that he did. And Adam Page has agreed because he sees a lot of himself in Kyle Fletcher because he's the veteran. And Kyle Fletcher's like 24, 26, I think, maybe 26. Adam Page sees this young guy and he says, yeah, man, I see a lot of potential in you, but you aren't ready. And then the mean crowd, you guys are so mean. You aren't ready. Clap, 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 clap. You aren't ready. And hey, business-wise, you might be right. But story-wise, you're wrong because Kyle Fletcher believes in himself. He decides when his prime begins. He decides when his prime ends. And the dude is not in his prime yet. That's what's crazy. And that's why he can't win this match. Now, AEW sometimes does crazy stuff. Like Brodito won, beat the Hurt Syndicate, and helped, develop them. And hopefully they can continue to develop and not lose the titles on this pay-per-view. And they can stick together for a little while longer. He could, but I don't think he's gonna, because it's the Adam Page promo, right? It's, look, man, you are great. and your greatness doesn't even have a ceiling yet. We don't know how great you're going to be. But at 26 years old, you may be able to beat me, but can you carry the company? Can you get a rating? Can your match be beloved by everyone? Can your promos be beloved by everyone or hated, depending on, if you're a good guy or a bad guy? That's like kind of what he's saying in the promo, right? And Hangman's betting on himself that he is that. And he's saying, you're not that yet. And Fletcher's like, yo, F you, man. I'm that right now and more. I'm more than you'll ever beat. I'm Kyle freaking Fletcher. Sorry, I throw freaking in there because I say that instead of the F word, and that's Seth Rollins' thing, and I didn't mean to gimmick and fringe. That's illegal. But yeah, so I'm excited for this match. It didn't have a big build-up, just a couple weeks. Kyle Fletcher is awesome in the ring. Hangman Page is awesome in the ring. Just ask Logan Paul. They're going to give a great match. I can't wait to see it, but I think the TNT champ loses the match. Hangman retains and moves on to the next contender. Then we can maybe build up a little bit more of a story because All Out comes at you quick after All In. So now they can space it out a little bit, hopefully. So our producer Alex also has Hangman retaining, and I think Jeff would agree because he loves Hangman Page. Next up, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. And here's how we got here, guys. Mox, back in the day, he didn't think Darby Allin was ready, kind of like the Kyle Fletcher thing, but his is a darker version of this coin, right? It's like Two-Face. One side is death and the other's life. Hangman's his life. Moxley's his death. He literally created a faction called the Death Riders. So he tried to kill Darby Allin and killed him a few times. And then Darby Allin went on a mountain and kind of found himself and was like, yo, while I'm finding myself, I realize I won't be complete until I kill you a few times and kill all your friends too. He comes back to AEW with the body bags, and he starts body bagging all the Death Riders, throwing them in there. First knocking them out, beating them down with his body, not his fists, because he's a smaller dude. So he has to literally use his whole body to hurt you. And he does. It's really cool. But he body bags everybody. And Moxley and him are now going to have this final showdown, and it's going to be a coffin match, which Jeff would love. Wish you were here, broski. Our producer, he believes in Darby Allin. And he's got him winning, and he says it's going to end this rivalry for the foreseeable future. Au contraire, mon frère. I think Moxley has lost his title and needs to remain strong. All of his team has been body bagged. He's got to be the one, and he needs to beat Darby Allin to maintain his strength. He doesn't need anything. He's Jon Moxley, man. He's a beast. This would be really cool if Darby got the win here. Moxley, I know, was due a vacation like a year and a half ago and didn't take it so he could carry the company as champ. So maybe now's the time he'll take a little vacation because he's going to be stuck in a coffin. You don't just jump out of a coffin right away. You're in there for weeks sometimes. They feed you. But maybe now it's time him and his lady can get a little time off. He can be, I think he's a dad. He could have a little dad time, maybe go to an island, get a tan on that white pasty skin. Just kidding, bro. But yeah, I agree with our producer on this. I think Darby wins. I think that's how the story ends as well for the foreseeable future. Next up, the AEW Women's World Championship in a fatal four-way that Toni Storm asked for. You know why? Because timeless Toni Storm is batshit crazy, and she doesn't give a damn. She's not in it for the titles and for the longest reign ever or the most reigns ever. She's in it till death. She's in it till death. And she's looking for someone that can challenge her and take her to the point where, yeah, I'm willing to die and you're willing to serve it up because I'm crazy as cat shit. What are you going to do? And nobody's been able to do shit so far, not even the great Mercedes Moné. Even she fell to the crazy one. Beat her ass, but she still fell to the crazy one. And Tony's been cutting these amazing promos in character that are the best promos of her career by far. Even the ones I don't connect with, where I think maybe it goes left or goes right a little too much. Like, she's still so committed to it. It's like you can't really help but kind of smile and stay connected with what she's doing because she just owns this character at a level that you don't usually see in anyone. You know what I mean? It's hard to find the perfect character. That's really tough to do, especially in professional wrestling. It's not like you get 9 months to write a script. Like, they're deciding in a matter of seconds whether they like you or not. It's similar to stand-up comedy in that way. That first joke is, if it doesn't hit, man, it's a slippery slope. Jeff will explain it better. But yeah, man, so very excited to see this. It's Toni Storm. I should name the other contenders, even though none of them are going to win. We got Jamie Hayter with an awesome look, coming out there looking like Daphne from Scooby-Doo, but like 60s, not 70s, versus Chris Statlander, big, buff, tough, versus crazy-ass Tekla, spelled Thekla. And she does some cool, like, upside-down Bray Wyatt stuff. She's cool, too. They don't have the story. The story is timeless Toni Storm looking for this challenge. Like, what's going to out there can actually, like, end my life. That's the only way I'm leaving this ring, and that's the only way I'm losing this title. Versus the world, right? So the world's motivation is, we just got to get this belt for whatever my reasons are. They really haven't had an opportunity to say it yet. Our producer said this is his hardest pick so far, but he, too, is going with the timeless one, Toni Storm from Warner Brothers Studios. To all of our hearts. Next up, TBS Championship. Mercedes 127 belts Monet versus the return of Rio, everyone's favorite. And here's how we got here, you guys. Alex Windsor, a very cool British wrestler who I'm just now getting into. She hits people really hard, by the way, in a good way. Her and Mercedes Moné were having a match, and Mercedes Moné was, submitting her even after the match was over. And they cued Rio's music, and Mercedes Moné's like, what? Why are they cueing music? Oh, shit! And Rio jumps off, busts up on Mercedes Moné, and Mercedes gets out of there, and Rio's like, hey, I'm here. And then they have a little quick build-up, which is why I think this one's an easy one to pick. The quick build-ups are a little easier, I think, although sometimes I'm wrong on AEW. They zig when I zag. Yeah, so that's how we got there. This match will be dope. Rio flies around. She's super little, you guys, if you're not familiar with her. She's like Darby, right? Like, she's Darby small, but in the girl size, so even teensier. And Mercedes is quick, athletic, strong. She'll be able to muscle her, even though she's slight too. You can see she lifts, she works out. So it should be a super fun match. But this is Mercedes all day long. She's winning this match. She's not losing on a 2-week story. I don't know if it's the most important, but in America, the most well-known of the championships that she holds is the TBS Championship, but probably not the most important. I think one of those Japanese ones is probably more important just because it's been around probably for a lot longer, but I don't know the lineage on those titles. So yeah, so those are our picks there, and our producer also picks Mercedes as well. Next up, this is the hardest freaking match to pick. The AEW Unified Championship. Yeah, you guessed right. It's a triple threat. It's Kazuchika Okada, the champ, versus Konosuke Takeshita. Man, I'm sorry, I always mess up your name, dude. Versus someone that I don't know. It's either going to be Mortos or Máscara Dorada. I don't like not having the other one, but neither one of those dudes is going to win. The story is between Okada and Takeshita because they've been having like beef within the Don Callis family because neither one takes shit, and both guys want to be the man, and both guys have tasted what it feels like in Japan to be the man, and now they want to have that same taste in their mouth again here in America and get over here too. Okada's been the champ for a hot minute and isn't losing to anybody, and Takeshita is a freaking beast. He's hyper athletic, he's crazy buff, great body, also a member of the Don Callis family. He's been wrestling a little more in Japan lately, but he's come back into this story. And him and Okada do not get along, even though it's in the family. Don Callis is kind of like, yo, what can I do, man? Both these guys are alphas. They're both monsters. Not monsters in the sense of like Kane and Undertaker, but they both can whip ass, and they can both whip my ass, so I can only step in so far, and I'm just going to outwardly say everything's fine. We're working it out. Both guys are tough guys, and they'll work it out, but they're not. There can only be one Highlander, and there can only be one champ. In the Unified Champions. That's why they unified it, because they had two champs. They had to make it one. This is tough. There's no reason for Okada to lose the championship. None. And he does well with the championship. I don't know what his story is because I don't know how effectively he can communicate on the mic in English. Like on WWE, they'll just let you talk in Japanese and just wrap a story around it. But in AEW, he has a mouthpiece. He had the Young Bucks. Now he has Don Callis. And then he cuts a little bit of English on you when he wants to like insult you and piss you off and get in your head, right? So that he could beat your ass when you guys fight. And for Takeshita, he has Don Callis as a mouthpiece. But Don Callis can't speak for both of them forever, right? Not if they have beef. So who's going to freaking win? Takeshita, I believe, can carry a championship and keep a championship for a hot minute. I don't know if he'll be, I think he could even be an AEW champion one day. Not today, but one day. Okada definitely can be an AEW world champion. And I think that might be what's next for him. I think he may start to go that direction. So if you're wanting to bet on Konosuke Takeshita, then that's the philosophy I think you take with you. On the flip side, if you think Okada needs the title, then they're not taking it off him, and maybe this is going to become the beginning of like a babyface turn for Takeshita because he loses and maybe Don Callis picks and goes with Okada because Okada's the champ. I'm spitballing here, you guys. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but I'm just trying to figure out how you could, make that bet. So our producer is going with Takeshita, and he's going to become the new unified champion. If he's right, Okada-san moves on to bigger and better things because that's kind of how it works, right? Like Jacob Fatu drops the belt, so then we all assume he's going to move on to bigger and better things. AEW tends to do the same thing because wrestling people book wrestling. They book what they see, and they tend to do an accelerated version of the stories that WWE does. So I, too, am going to go with Takeshita to upset the champ and win. You protect the champ a little because of the triple threat, right? So he can lose it even if he doesn't get pinned. Takeshita could pin one of the luchadors, and it keeps tension in the Don Callis family, and then Okada can go after bigger belts. After a quick story, then go on for a bigger belt. You're going to have a lot of people going for the big belt here pretty soon. Next up, the Fatal 4-Way, the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This is impossible to pick because where we're at and how they're going to get there is impossible for me to know because we record this before they release the fighters. So we know Brodito's in it because they're the champs. Outside of that, I have 3 teams to be determined. I have no idea who they're going to be, but the Young Bucks have been sort of sneaking up lately. They really paid a price for being buttholes, and now they won a little cash, right? So they don't have to eat at craft service. They can get maybe some sushi, get a little sushi before the match. Maybe not come in an Uber, but get a limo again. It could be them. The Gun Club, they haven't got a lot of heat behind them lately. Like, not heat like heat in the wrestling term. I just mean like momentum. So I don't know, but you could go with them. Jet Speed's out there, which is a good, young, fun team. And Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian. Also, there's Top Flight, Josh Alexander, and Echiseto. Now, I think the legit contenders are Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian. And maybe you want to go with the Young Bucks. Outside of that, I don't know who could beat Brodito. I don't think anyone should beat Brodito unless they were really just a quick coaster for whoever was going to hold the champ for a while, and they just needed to get the belts off the Hurt Syndicate because they have a story planned for them. So maybe that was it. But our producer's picking the Young Bucks. Maybe for some of the reasons I mentioned. Maybe he's got his own. But he says they've been flying high, and Alex thinks in a ladder match they're going to thrive over the big, giant Brodito and whoever the other teams are going to be. So I think oh man, it's tough. I think I've talked myself into the Young Bucks, and maybe Brodito were just placeholders. But that would kind of bum me out. But instead of going with my heart, I'm going with my head, and the head says the Young Bucks are going to get it. That's what I say. Finally, no, not finally. We have 2 matches left. No, 3. Holy crap. All Out's huge, people. This is the easiest one for me, and I'm going to be wrong. But to me, it's easy. Copeland and Cage versus FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, with my man Stokely Hathaway, their manager, the evil manager who hurt himself spearing Copeland a few weeks ago. It was really funny, by the way. All right, so these guys hate each other. They tried to kill Edge. Edge came back, tried to kill them. They tried to kill Edge again. Christian Cage came out, threatened to kill everybody. Everybody wants everyone dead. They're going to wrestle to the death in Toronto, which is where Edge and Christian Cage are from. I'm assuming the crowd is going to be going crazy for for Copeland and Christian. This, to me, is an easy Cope and Cage victory. It makes everybody in the crowd at Toronto feel good. Tony Khan, I don't think likes shitting on the hometown heroes the way WWE like doing it. Like, CM Punk's from Chicago. Oh, he's getting his ass kicked tonight. Ah, ha, 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 ha. That sucks when you're a fan to see that. It makes you buy the pay-per-view to watch your guy win 2 weeks later, but that sucks. Like, you spent money to not watch your guy lose. You spent money to watch your guy win. So I think that'll be the result on here. Alex agrees with me. Let's move on. Lucky number 8. Tables and thumbtacks. No DQ. MJF versus Mark Briscoe. This is my favorite story in AEW. It's been going on for a few weeks now. So both guys have not only gotten to tell their side of the story, they've gotten to give you their reason why multiple times. Multiple times. The insults and the disrespect that MJF has thrown at Mark Briscoe for even thinking he's good enough to be in the business have been disgusting at best and worthy of an ass whooping at worst. And the stuff he said about his brother, all this stuff, like, it just makes you want to kill him. Just kill him. And Briscoe has committed 100% to that persona. I don't want to beat you in a ring. I want to kill your ass. I want to go to jail when I'm done fighting you, man. Like, he just comes at him so blue collar, and MJF's coming at it so white collar that it's like a battle of the classes, the clash of the classes. And it's been a great story in AEW. It's been interlaced with the Adam Page Championship story. It's been interlaced with Briscoe's shot at lesser glory, but still glory when MJF messed with his match. It's done everything it's supposed to do to make you want to watch a wrestling match from my perspective. It's made me want to watch it, and I can't wait to see. All right, our producer's picking MJF. He thinks he's going to do something sneaky and snake his way into victory. But what if, because he has this contract, right, this insurance policy. So what if he took the L, and what if things started going bad for MJF again? And he lost this match to Briscoe, and Briscoe looks like the man. And it's like, yo, how am I going to even look worthy enough to beat Hangman if I can't get through? Hey, I'm just kidding, you guys. MJF's winning this match. Don't let me talk you out of it. Of course he's going to win. He's going to go through hell, absolute hell. Eventually he's going to punch Mark Briscoe dead in the balls, kick him in the balls, headbutt him in the balls, elbow him in the balls, put a knee in the balls. He's going to just destroy his balls, and he's going to pin him for 1, 2, 3. That's right, I gave you the finish. 100% accuracy on finishes this year, by the way. All right, next up. We hurt people. We hurt people. Say it with me. The Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP making a comeback appearance to whip some ass. He walks with a cane. You know, I don't think he needs the cane. You know, I'm starting to think he might be using that just to whip people's ass with the cane. I don't think he needs it. If he's wrestling versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. All right, here's how we got here. These assholes cost the Hurt Syndicate their titles. They jumped in there with some New Japan wrestling gear and started whipping ass and caused a distraction, and boom, we don't have titles anymore. We don't have gold. We don't control the tag team division. Yeah, we hurt people, but do you respect us? No, you just fear us, but we need some respect too. So first I got to get through these guys, beat their ass, and then move on to other things. And Bobby Lashley can only be in the tag team division for so long before he has to be chasing the world championship. So you see, we're going to have a lot of dudes chasing this world championship very, very soon. You could end up with a crazy friggin' match just to get to a number one contender, or they could story it out, however they're going to do it. But they're going to have a lot of legit dudes to come to this. And don't forget, when other wrestlers get back off of injuries, they're high enough level that they'll be in line for a world title shot as well. So all that said, I don't think there's enough room yet for Bobby Lashley to be chasing the world title as well. And I think MJF has to have the belt before Bobby pursues it, because that gets us to MJF and Bobby. So the Hurt Syndicate is going to get back to business. They're going to win. They're going to beat this match. And then they can say, hey, we're going to pursue the tag team championships again, get in that. Or you keep Bobby and Shelton looking strong, And even though Shelton lost a match, but it was a shady loss to Ricochet. And then Bobby Lashley can still look strong and awesome and great. So Hurt Syndicate get back to business. They win. They get their revenge. Bet it. Take that shit to the bank. Yeah, I'll take it to the bank. To the blood bank. It's a line from a Steven Seagal movie called Hard to Kill. The final match of the night. Eddie Kingston. The return of Eddie Kingston. What's up, Eddie Kingston? Bro of the show. Versus Big Ass Bill. And here's how we got here. I don't watch a lot of Collision. They have had some good shit with Kyle Fletcher lately, so I did start watching it. And here's how we got here. I actually know how. Big Bill called out Kingston on Collision on September 13th, and Eddie accepted. He's been getting in shape. He's been working out. He's been eating right, and he's still tough as nails. And then Tony Khan makes it official for All Out, marking the return of Eddie Kingston, his first match in over a year, which makes this pretty easy to predict, right? They're not just going to bring him in and then sacrifice him. That would be cold-blooded, man. Bill just kills his ass. Get back to working out and losing weight. No, Eddie Kingston's going to win. It'll be a really cool story for him. He can come back, get involved in one of the lesser titles, or just get in a beef with Big Bill for a little while. Maybe they spread that out. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it because I like seeing the meat matches. All right, you guys. The first ever HBO Max era AEW pay-per-view show is complete. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Wrestling with Freddie. Leave us your reviews. Maybe we'll read them on air if they're funny and cool. I don't care if they're mean or nice, but they got to be like funny and cool at least. Also, keep an eye open for our socials as we're going to announce a special Federation Speaks edition of the show. That's when you guys get to ask questions, and Jeff and I take them and answer them live on air. Stay tuned for Unsanctioned Thursday, where we're going to go over another pay-per-view, make you even more money on WWE's WrestlePalooza. I'm Freddie Prinze Jr., also known as Uncle Frederick, and I bid you all farewell. Peace!